What's up, guys? We are here in Heroes Generations Regen, and I'm showing you how to cheat this game, how to break it down, and become an immortal. It is actually quite simple once you know what you're doing in this game. So, you can see our life gauge is at 173. We're going to constantly gather up these life bonuses on these structures. And we also have a trait on our hero that is called Vampire. So he's going to be dealing damage, and every time he does, he's going to get a +2 to his life. That's what the Vampire trait does. So, combination of attacking people, killing them, is going to give you life, and then stepping on all of these artifacts, we'll get the correct name for it in just a second here, will give you more life. Normally you start off with around 70 life, 70 steps, and then your hero dies. But with this kind of a setup, you're immortal. You cannot die. You cannot lose. It is just broken. So, building options here. We're going to be building Temple to get the life bonus every 16 years, which is 16 steps. That's going to just keep continuously building our life gauge up higher and higher. You're able to get 2 traits on a hero. Some of them you can get through childbirth on the special trait panel. Other ones you can also just acquire through making buildings, and the buildings will spawn the traits occasionally. So we'll show you how we got the Vampire trait, which is the most important here. Because generally, if you just have these health buildings, these temples, you're not going to really be gaining too much life. You'll be slowly but surely gaining like 1 or 2 life every, 15, 20 steps. It's not going to be as quick as this. We're going to jump up several, several life points in this short video here. We're already up to 189 now. Craziness. And the other reason is the Vampire trait is really important because creatures keep spawning. So you've got heroes that are spawning out of the houses. So we have these spawn points. And even though that you've collected them, these robots keep spawning out of the spawn points. So if you go over here and attack the spawn point, we're going to get into a couple battles. I believe there's 3 creatures, 3 robots on here. And in order to build up your strength, you just need to have at least one building that has a lot of, strength. So we have the +10 building on the right there, and we just keep going around in our circle, doing a loop, collecting all of the bonuses, and progressing our hero. The second trait that I have on this hero is actually, I think, very important, because in order to go around the world, there's a lot of stages that have lava, water, barriers where you can't really get past. So the second trait that he has actually allows him to walk on anything. He's called a fire walker. He can walk any step. He can walk on water. He can walk on fire. He's unaffected by any terrain. If you want, you could even go more life insanity by putting double Vampire traits on your hero. So we're going to go collect some more strength over here. Get our hero up to 300 strength. So we collected the +10 right there. So we just have one building that is strength. And you don't need to worry about like building structures. The only things you need is you need the attack buildings. So you need those guys right there, which are called strongholds. They'll produce 10 strength every 10 years. You slowly build those up. And then you just need a whole bunch of temples. Temples everywhere. You don't need this anvil up here, but we have one just because. You don't need the blacksmith. You're going to be able to generate money as well through the towns. The towns will always generate you a little bit of coin, and then for killing the people, you're going to generate some coins as well. All the time, you see these crosses on the ground. That means someone has died in that spot. And generally, we're getting 200 gold coins every time we step on that spot where there's a cross, picking up from the dead bones. So, let's show you how to make this Vampire trait. Click on to the buildings. They go to for town blueprints. scroll over and you're going to be looking for this Dark Citadel. So when you build this, every 20 years, it's going to pop out one of these traits. And generally, it's been the vampire trait that's popped out like crazy. So this is where you also get the Firewalker traits. And then the last trait is add 40% damage to the attack in combat. You can also get these by, breeding at this location, having a child. So in order to build it, you have to do a whole bunch of setups. So it's got a complete set right here. You need a baby factory. You need 2 cathedrals. The orphanage is the baby factory. And then you need 1 academy. So you need quite a bit of gold. Initially, to start this kind of a build up and to build this, you're going to want to probably have a couple farms. And then you're going to want to upgrade them so you can get some factories so you can generate more gold. Once you generate enough gold, you need around 10,000 gold. Now you can start slowly but surely building up your town. It's going to take several generations to get this custom setup. It took us to 15 generations before we were able to really just build this town, build this setup, where we have nothing to worry about. We're immortal. You can see we're up at 204 steps now. Let's go ahead and explore over here and kill some bosses